Silent Hill 2, my first taste of horror that focused more so on the mind than zombie jump scares. We learn of James Sunderland, a man that has arrived searching for his missing wife, and the truth that he must find out for his own self-acceptance. But along his journey he encounters others in Silent Hill dealing with their own inner demons as well. First character he comes across within the game is a woman by the name of Angela Orosco. We know of her fate at the end of the game, but let's start from the beginning. Oftentimes, the name of a character is there for a reason, so let's take a look at Angela's. Her first name, Angela, is derived from the Greek origin and it means angel or messenger of God. How fitting, isn't it? Is this Silent Hill's way of telling James that it's God is keeping tabs on him? Or is it more so a look into Angela herself, meaning one who is close to God? The last name Orosco is of Basque origin, which is derived from the place named Orosco, which happens to be a beautiful small town nestled by some mountains in the upper region of Spain near France. Angela's appearance is a very solemn one. Nothing on her stands out, which is exactly why she chooses to dress this way. She has a long sleeve grayish sweater that conceals her arms. Either she is a very temperamental person, like myself, or the covering of her skin is what provides her the most comfort. Her brown pants seem almost a dull red in color as well. While red in itself, which is the color of blood, is easily visible, when it's muted in this way, it's hardly noticeable. Once again, this is purposely done so she doesn't draw attention to herself in any form. While most of her skin is covered, a glimpse at her face really tells her story more than anything else. During the events of Silent Hill 2, Angela is 19 years old. When James first encounters her in the cutscene, one could argue that she is, but the more we see of her outside of the cutscenes, the more things do not seem to add up. Angela is supposed to be this young woman, but she resembles more so of a lady in her late 20s or 30s to me that has experienced much trauma. The same could be said for her voice, which also does a great job of having the player realize something must be really wrong later in the game if she is 19 but looks and sounds the way that she does. Angela grew up in a very toxic family. It was one filled with violence and abuse, which to a developing child is a concoction for disaster in one way or another. Angela's father, Thomas, was a very aggressive alcoholic, meaning one thing goes wrong and he would explode instantly on someone. While not much about her brother is known either, it is gathered from the game that prior to Silent Hill, Angela was both physically and sexually assaulted by not only her father, but her brother as well. Her mom even told her that she deserved it. It's not really known if her mother was also part of this abuse or if she was also being abused by her own son and husband. It is thought of by the time of Silent Hill 2 though, that Angela's mother, brother, and father are dead. In a novelization, some background is provided about Angela before she made it to Silent Hill as well. She worked as a waitress at a restaurant at some point in time, but with its low pay and perverted male customers, she let it go. She also tried getting help from a doctor, but found that antidepressants did not work and only brought about harsh side effects. After Angela finished high school, she attempted to escape her hell, but her father soon dragged her back. Sadly for him, this would be the last time he would force Angela to deal with anything. Angela also murdered her brother, I am assuming, somewhere around this time, but there is no detail about the incident other than it actually happening. When James first encounters Angela in the graveyard at the beginning of the game, she is highly focused on the gravestone in front of her, if not obsessed with it for some reason. When James asks Angela what seems to be a possible question, she immediately jumps up from her position and says she is sorry. She then proceeds to explain herself. Already within this scene, she displays herself as a person who is unnaturally submissive when surprised, but she snaps back into reality once she realizes James means no harm. Her speech to James is very calm but also filled with a bit of uncertainty in her words, almost as if she isn't exactly sure of her own advice.
This town, there's something wrong with it. It's kind of hard to explain, but...
Is it dangerous?
Maybe. And it's not just the fog either.
Okay, I got it. I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just... I guess I really don't care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going to town either way.
But why?
I'm looking for... someone.
Who is it?
Someone... very important to me. I'd do anything if I could be with her again.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean my mother.
Once more here, we notice Angela says she is looking for her mama in a childlike manner, and then realizes she is talking to an adult and corrects herself to looking for her mother. If I was talking to a sibling, I too would refer to my mother as mama, but not to a stranger.
It's been so long since I've seen her. I thought my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either. I'm sorry. It's not your problem.
I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too.
At the end of the encounter, we learn then why she is here in the graveyard. She appears to be searching for her mother, but also mentions her other family members. The next time James encounters Angela, she is lying on the ground in the apartment with a knife in her hand in a state of depression. Her vocal tone is dark and emotionless. This state is seemingly the complete opposite of the first time we met her. While it's not unusual for emotions to fluctuate, this is a stark contrast to the lady we met before. It is almost as if this isn't the same person.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, I'm James.
Angela.
Angela, okay. I don't know what you're planning, but there's always another way.
Really? But you're the same as me. It's easier just to run. Besides, it's what we deserve.
Angela then points out to James that both him and her are one and the same. The thing they do best is run away from their problems and the truth within those problems. It is also ironic that she says that as she looks into the mirror at herself and James. Mirrors are a big thing in Silent Hill. They represent not just the physical appearance of a person, but also a reflection of themselves on the inside. One can cover themselves up in makeup, fancy clothes, and important people, but nothing can hide the shell of the person they are from the mirror right in front of them. It's almost as though James is talking to himself at this point.
No, I'm not like you.
You afraid? I'm sorry.
It's okay. Did you find your mother?
Not yet. She's not anywhere.
Did she live in this apartment building?
I don't know.
So, all you know is she lived in this town.
What did you say? How do you know that?
Well, I just figured, 'cause this is where you're looking for her. How else would I know?
Yeah.
Am I right?
I'm so tired.
So, why did you come to this town anyway?
I'm sorry.
Angela continues to apologize, and her speech is very lethargic, almost as if the life has been sucked out of her, furthering the thought process that she is indeed in a depressive state.
Did you find the person you're looking for?
Not yet. Her name's Mary. She's my wife.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Anyway, she's dead. I don't know why I think she's here.
She's dead?
Don't worry. I'm not crazy. At least, I don't think so.
I've got to find my mama.
Once more she states she has to find her mama.
Should I go with you? This town's dangerous. Now I know what you meant back there in the cemetery.
I'll be okay by myself. Besides, I'd just slow you down.
What about that?
Will you hold it for me?
Sure. No problem.
If I kept it, I'm not sure what I might do.
She then proceeds to ask James to hold the knife for her, indicating that she may want it back at a later date because she isn't sure what she would do with it. While this isn't a big indicator in itself, taking into account of when James first walked into the room, one could then imagine that she's contemplating harming herself. When James goes to retrieve the knife from Angela, she goes into a very defensive stance and apologizes, saying sorry once again that she has been bad and please don't. It is here in this moment after the first encounter that shows that there's a lot going on with Angela, but us as a player does not necessarily know why, but would soon find out later.
I'm sorry. I've been bad. Please don't.
Coming up in the next scene, there are newspaper articles scattered across the floor giving us context of a situation that was highly covered at one point in time. We learn that Mr. Orosco, Angela's father, had been brutally murdered in a crime of passion. Earlier in the game, we encountered Angela looking for her mother, father, and brother. We then encounter her the second time with a knife in her hand. While the game doesn't outright tell you, it's only natural that it is inferring that something sinister has went on. This is further reinforced by Angela being within a room away from all those newspapers scattered across the floor, which is highly convenient.
Daddy, please don't.
After downing Abstract Daddy, take note of Angela's behavior.
Are you okay? Angela, relax.
Don't order me around.
I'm not trying to order you.
So what do you want then? Oh, I see. You're trying to be nice to me, right? I know what you're up to. It's always the same. You're only after one thing.
No, that's not true at all.
You don't have to lie. Go ahead and say it. Or you could just force me. Beat me up like he always did. You only care about yourself anyway. You disgusting pig.
Once again, she reacts totally different than in James's first encounter with her. We can clearly see and confirm here that something really bad happened to Angela at the hands of her father. In this room is moving pistons as well. What is also unique about this place is the shelf in the corner as well as the steel door. A room can signify a lot of things, but in most cases it's the one place for comfort. Angela's comfort was destroyed by the hands of her father and her brother, not only physically and emotionally, but sexually as well.
Angela.
Don't touch me!
Her projection onto James shows that when all he was trying to do was to calm her down. All of her actions up until this point make sense. While we cannot prove her repulsion to females, she has a high level of it when it comes to males due to the trauma she suffered from her father.
You make me sick! You said your wife Mary was dead, right?
Yes. She was ill.
Liar! I know about you. You didn't want her around anymore. You probably found someone else.
That's ridiculous. I never...
This marks the last time that we ever see Angela in arguably her most famous scene. It's taken all of 4 interactions with her to give a great insight into the person she has become at the end of Silent Hill 2.
I was looking for you. Now you're the only one left. Maybe then I can rest. Mama, why are you running away? You're not my mama. It's you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Angela, no.
Thank you for saving me. But I wish you hadn't. Even Mama said it. I deserved what happened.
No, Angela, that's wrong.
No, don't pity me. I'm not worth it. Or maybe you think you can save me. Will you love me? Take care of me? Heal all my pain?
What's odd about this entire conversation is how rhetorical Angela's questions to James are. Can you save me? Can you love me? I say rhetorical because the response to those questions mean nothing. Even if James said he would, we know due to Angela's trauma that would never work out.
That's what I thought. James, give me back that knife.
No. I won't.
Saving it for yourself?
Me? No. I'd never kill myself. It's hot as hell in here.
You see it too. For me, it's always like this.
She ends the scene here replying to James about how it's always been hell for her. This is a very interesting point as we finally get a complete insight into the mind of Angela and how she processes things. Due to the trauma inflicted on her every single day she has been alive, it's been insufferable. It is highly understandable since the people that were meant to protect her were the ones that hurt her in ways no one should ever hurt anyone else. Part of our perspective is gained from that of our parents, and if at a young age that perspective is skewed, then the way one views the world as they grow older also becomes skewed. With no one to trust, no one to confide in, Angela lost all reason to see life as something beautiful. You may choose to speculate if Angela died after this scene or not, since she isn't mentioned after this. Masahiro Ito did confirm that Angela died after this, but he couldn't remember how. While she may physically have died, this scene is more powerful to me because it signifies her mental state is one that has given up here. So all in all, we can see that Angela has undergone quite a bit of trauma even at a young age, meaning the way that her family has affected her has totally affected her entire outlook on life. The story of Angela is without a doubt a tragic one, and just in a real world fashion, it's unfortunate that not everyone can be saved from the pain that's been inflicted onto them by others. And in Angela's case, this is one of those ways that regardless of what James could have done, there was just no way to stop her on her own path of self-destruction. I don't think that she's personally one to blame for her own self-destruction. It's just the way that things happen in terms of nurture versus nature. But that pretty much wraps up the Angela Orosco analysis. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.